We took back Amsterdam. Battle of Amsterdam has ended.
What are all those up there? Those buttons.
Which one? Resistance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's be nice to the people we're occupying so they don't rebel against us. We're not going to be like the Germans in World War I who committed a geopolitical blunder by trying to use fear as a weapon in the 20th century in the age of mass media.
Didn't work.
Alright, so we're going to push them back out of another province.
Brave little Belgium. Great
Yeah,
reference.
Yeah, brave little Belgium.
Alright. Now
we can put it back unbalanced. Because we've got them surrounded down to one province. They can supply that port for as long as they want. They're not doing any good for the war effort. And France continues to collapse.
So, again, now we start to plan for the rest of this conflict.
About to cause
How are we going to take down Britain? Because Britain is about to be alone and in much worse shape than they were in World War II.
I think there's going to be an Operation Sea Lion on the horizon here.
I think there's going to have to be.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, they're poking at us across the channel with land-based naval bombers and sinking a destroyer here and there every now and then, but that's all they're really doing. I think that Canada might have destroyed their channel fleet. I mean, there's no invasions going across the Atlantic.
I'm just shocked that California basically is winning that war.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, they're holding them kind of in one of the most defensible regions
on Earth.
On Earth, the Rocky Mountains. So, 93, and they also replaced their general, so they're not going to last very long. Yeah, I don't know that France could put up a fight at this point. They're going to be so undersupplied. So undermanned.
Not a fight on the level that they need.
Combat unit destruction. All right, so I think
almost
still slightly ahead on nuclear reactors. So do we want to focus on air support, tactical bombing, or ground support? Right now, I think we need air support more because they're beating us in the air, and we don't have the factories to give to air production right now.
At the moment.
At the moment, yeah. I think that
we have free factories probably though because of all the stuff we've conquered.
Let's see, no template, air wings with no mission. That's fine. We're at war. They're losing against reorganized China, so low manpower, resistance to occupation.
That'll just be the case.
Alright, we do need to be building more military factories and more dockyards, so let's find somewhere. Meter iron, that's not going to be threatened anytime soon. And then some dockyards.
What's funny too, man, the Soviets could have been a decisive influence in this conflict. They waited at this point too long.
They waited far too long. Make sure that our priorities are straight here. We want military factories fixed, and then we want military factories built, and then we want dockyards built.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, they're about to lose Rotterdam. Ukraine. Those 11 divisions up there
would have been a huge help here.
Come on, Ukraine. One of my friends just texted me, I'm mad at Paradox right now while we're playing a Paradox game.
We are not mad at Paradox.
No, I'll have to ask him it's probably something like they announced too much good DLC and then they take too long to release it.
Okay, it's over.
Here's what we should do. At this point, he's already on aggressive.
Yeah, it's over.
Rommel. I'm going to give Rommel some new orders.
Brest,
yeah. So, Rommel, if you would, let's trash all of your current orders. I just want you focused on this front here. Take Brest.
End this.
As quickly as possible, if you do not mind.
End this.
And, do your Rommel thing.
And
pocket. Oh, yeah, we took that pocket out, so those troops are on their way to the front.
It's done. France is collapsing.
France is done. I don't know at this point if the Soviets don't join.
Like now, dude. They need to join now.
Modern air doctrine. Hell yeah.
We can get contract with Albatross.
Yeah, unless there's... Konrad Zusa might actually be better, because he unlocks faster electronic research.
Alright, do that.
Yeah, we'll get some better air contracts too, because we're gonna be fighting a battle of Britain for sure.
We're gonna need to use our political power not on a company contract though, but on a change in our conscription laws.
That's true. Yeah.
Bluntly,
we have bled more than we would have liked. Red naval battle. We lost one destroyer. We are still patrolling that zone, right? Yeah.
We control it, dude.
I don't know how they got a battle cruiser in there. The Hague is surrounded. They can't hold it forever. Yeah, just take it. Just throw the good old human wave at it. Orleans is holding out. That's like the one pocket.
Holy crap. Long, yeah, France utterly collapsed. This is over.
Yeah, I'm shocked they haven't. Probably when we take Orleans, they will
capitulate.
If not, then we will just have to take Brest.
Or the whole
This country. Naval invasion never happened. That's okay.
It was a good idea.
Yeah, good old...
Middle Africa.
Yeah, good old... oh, he's not the leader anymore. Goering was the leader of Middle Africa for a while. I was going to say, good old Goering
one job.
Didn't get his shit together in
one
time.
Job, Herman.
Yeah. It's like, I would much rather live in a different reality where
Princely Federation joined the third... Y'all are too late, by the way,
Princely
you people.
Federation? Okay, so more
India.
Shenanigans in India. They're not even communists. They just want to get it back against the Dominion. Alright. Let's counterattack. That's the most damage we've done to Wilmershaven in a long time.
Well, they're about to just get a tremendous amount of reinforcements here.
They are stubborn fuckers.
Give them that. Oh,
Commune of France has capitulated. All right. So South went to Italy. That's all right. That doesn't really bother us that much. But yeah, so the Rundstedt's Grand Army is now
gonna kick some folks off the continent.
Here's what I think. This is way overkill, but. Let's go
We deserve to see this. We deserve to see this, bro.
So, 221. We're going to go ahead. We're going to merge these in two. We are going to split this in half. This half, we're going to give those back to Manstein. Manstein, take your 123 divisions, if you would, and please retake Wilmershaven. At your leisure. Then Rundstedt, the Hague, at your leisure if you would. Just go ahead and take that back for us.
And it's time for us to start planning for what comes next.
Yes.
The big sword, the big enemy, France, is done. Which means the outcome of this war is now determined. The British are not going to beat us alone or with a single ally in India. They're just not going to do it.
No.
It's just, it is literally impossible. Oh my god. And we're about to jettison them. So what we need to do now is we need to bring our manpower back to a situation.
Yeah. Sinking. There's British battle cruisers somehow slipping by our screens and sinking our guys. Actually, oh yeah, we didn't execute the plan. Let's just get this over with.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm done leaving an important German port in the hands of these commie scum.
And yeah, the Hague is gonna go down. Yeah. Yep. This is the army that just took France. You're not gonna hold out against them, unfortunately. Yeah, commissioning some more warships. I'll take it. I believe those were U-boats, so we got some special submarines or something. We can go ahead and put this on speed 4. I'm not worried at this point.
No, we want to throw these guys off of the continent. Probably take a minute to take a breath.
Yeah.
And figure out what we want to do about our manpower
We've
deficit.
lost, yeah, almost 3 million men so far. But, yeah.
This is bloody business, man.
I think our aggression has paid dividends.
It has. We need to change our conscription laws, though, like
Yeah.
desperately.
Well, we will be able to soon. And we will kind of have to before we launch Operation Sea Lion. But I would like to end this episode with reclaiming all of our German territory. Come the fuck on, guys.
Stiff upper lip, man.
Yeah. Alright, at least we're gonna collapse this flank. Was that a naval battle that just happened there? Why didn't we get a notification about it? Convoy raids, convoy raids.
That aren't working.
The Batavian Commune. The Batavian Commune is launching naval bombers against our Channel Fleet from The Hague, well surrounded and being attacked. I gotta give it to them. That's
Yeah.
ballsy. That is ballsy.
That's pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. They are surrounded. They know they're going to be overrun and die, but they're sending their pilots out to sink as many German ships as they can before they lose the port.
All right.
So Rundstedt's Grand Army.
Reunite.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna commission everyone who's not named Ukraine. Let's see. Request volunteers. Request forces. Request forces.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have. You've probably seen.
They don't have any more.
You've probably seen a certain number of prongs in your lifetime. I don't think you've ever seen the number of prongs that we're going to prong.
Yeah.
Might as well combine these guys. Modal, I mean, you didn't actually. Your services weren't actually needed. So, garrison the army along the coast here while we bide our time to send out some recruitment flyers.
Basically.
Yeah. And yeah, so we're gonna deploy. Actually, let's even expand that. Let's even expand that out to.
Yeah, let's not give them any opening to get back on here.
No opening, but also we kind of want to launch from every possible port to every possible port that we can.
So let's look at our industry here while
Yeah.
the clock's ticking while stuff is happening.
Free dockyards, by the way. We can start building new shit.
I would go almost subs, man. Like, let's start hurting them.
Subs they sink convoys, but they're actually not that great
Okay.
for fleet and being. Probably actually want to give it to boosting our battleship production, honestly. Oh, look, we've got a few free dockyards. How long have we had free dockyards? How long have you been yelling at us?
All right, and how's our industry doing? We need to resupply our army with more than just people, obviously.
Yeah, so our infantry equipment deficit is going down steadily. We were at minus 50k, we're now at minus 30k. Reinforcement-wise, we need about 20,000 more manpower, which we have.
Our resource shortage will be felt less acutely now because
Yeah.
we're not actively fighting, right? Like
Right.
that will help.
Definitely. We don't need to do any trade or anything. Construction-wise, we're building civilian in 2 provinces, we're building military in 2 provinces, we're building dockyards in 2 provinces, and we even have a factory left over to help us repair infrastructure that's been damaged. We should have just seized a shitload of factories from France. we're not going to get the full use of them because we're on gentle occupation, which means we're basically kind of letting people go about their lives so that they don't rebel against us. Oh, we missed a province here too.
Did we?
Yeah, just that one right there. Alright, so now we'll deploy everyone out. So yeah, this is the state of the world as we are coming to...
And what's happening? So,
yeah,
nothing happened in Africa.
Right, so the Buridian Commune and the Princely Federation have declared war and are losing currently to the Dominion of India, which is still under British control. Still kind of a stalemate at the Rocky Mountains and probably will be for a long time, although the Pacific states are pushing back the combined syndicates. It should be noted. Faction-wise, nothing really crazy has happened.
China,
Great
China
Khanate
is currently winning.
Yeah, the Great Khanate has invaded Nepal or something like that.
Isn't it? Our China, I think, is currently...
Our China is winning, I believe.
It's
100% in favor of the defenders, and they are 21% of the way towards capitulating. So these are the guys we're at war with, and yeah,
it's not going well for them.
Our China is handling it. The good China, the best China, is
all
handling
the best Chinas are currently handling the situation.
Yes. So for the time being,
yeah, we're gonna let these guys hang out.
Let's just garrison them in Morocco. Garrison area. And maybe the rest of those divisions we selected will get there eventually. We're going to get some more maintenance companies so our shit don't break.
Because we have a supply problem. We need our shit not to break.
Actually, we should wait well, no. I was going to say we could wait till the next month and start on nuclear right away, but I'm sure we'll have something finishing. Yeah, 56 days for that. So we're not going to lose much time there. If we do have to build V2 rocket sites and nuke the shit out of Britain, we're prepared to do that.
Yes, we are.
We're extremely prepared, if needed, to nuke the combined syndicates of America because we don't want a land invasion of the U.S.
Who does? How are the Soviets doing against Siberia? Well,
they are doing well.
They're about to reunite the country, actually.
They are using a lot of their resources to do that, so we'll see how that goes. Is the Trans-Samorin Admiralty... That's part of Japan's faction? Yeah. So Japan has the co-prosperity sphere. I think they're actually fighting Siberia, and that's probably one of the reasons Siberia is losing.
Yeah, we need to recover. That's what we need to do. Our manpower, our industry. Before an Operation Sea Lion can happen, I feel like we need to take a bit of an uneasy breather. You know what I mean?
Take stock, yeah, and get our Air Force back set up. So we'll probably, before the beginning of the next episode, we're going to do another round of reorganizing our Air Force. We're going to want lots of fighters, lots of naval bombers in the channel. Yeah.
Italy was a bro.
I don't know why we can't get them to join our faction. If you guys have any idea how we could make that happen...
Wow, they're closer than I thought there would be.
Yeah, I guess if we switch back to authoritarian Democrat, then we'd lose all of our party popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think they at least like us, right? Like, they're not going to declare war on us. So.
They like us quite a bit.
Yeah. Non-aggression pact military access, and then they don't like us because of event ITA_at_os_jur. But I think that'll be okay. Whatever that event is.
Yeah, I think it'll be alright.
Yeah, I think they're not friends with the Austrians, is what that means. But the Austrians haven't been friends with us lately, so, fuck them.
Yep, so
anyway.
France fell apart. That's awesome.
Saving the game here. In December 7th, 1942, 1 year removed from... a date that lived in infamy in the real world. It's a date that will live in glory in our world.
Oh, and by the way, is it Christmas in 1942 yet?
It is not, and France has capitulated. So suck it.
That is indeed so.
Yeah, I believe we're in the Advent calendar, but it is not, in fact, Christmas Day. It is
No.
not the proverbial
And
Christ
we
Mass.
conquered them like a month ago. Like, we've let the clock run a little bit.
So, no, our boys won't be going home on Christmas, but they will be enjoying some nice French wine, perhaps from the Bordeaux region. And that will be a
A
great...
stroll through the Arc de Triomphe in
Yeah.
a full dress, perhaps.
Right. Being told... our youngsters are about to be told some tales about the glorious invasion...
Dude, we won that
volunteer
war on
only.
volunteer
There is
only.
not a single person in this army who didn't come walk into a recruiting office of their own initiative.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty glorious.
Yeah.
I'm serious, dude. That is pretty stinking glorious.
Yeah,
right there.
We're gonna get almost double that from passing limited conscription.
Extensive conscription might be required.
Extensive conscription, I don't even mind. Like plus 10 training time, that's not that bad. It's only when you get up into like service by requirement when you actually start.
Our
men out of
manpower is
factories.
low enough that we probably can't wait till 300
Well, I mean,
political power.
Dude,
like,
I mean, look at this. How many men can there be in the entire Union of Britain compared to what we have here?
truth.
Yeah, I mean, their industry isn't going to be anywhere near us. Their manpower isn't going to be anywhere near us. I think we're really at this point keeping our eyes on the Soviet Union and the combined syndicates, because I don't know that Britain's really going to last much longer. There are the communists in Spain that we also have to think about as well. But they share a larger border with Italy than they do with
And
us.
Italy just
So,
proved
yeah.
itself extremely capable.
BT I
dubs.
might even give Italy control of Bordeaux just to absorb any attacks. Although we do want their wine.
We do. And their industry. It's
Yeah.
a very industrialized region, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Let's-
comparatively.
Let's give them. Let's see. Italy.
Stage a coup.
We could stage a coup.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah. we'll go find the 1942 Italian Bernie Sanders who supports our social democratic ideology. Stage a coup and then bring them into our faction. That should be our goal. Yeah. Well,
I just think in a war with the combined syndical states, everyone should have level 4 infantry equipment.
the top two syndicates control 90% of the world's angry communist youth.
That cannot stand in this situation.
Yeah. Anyway, check out loresworn.com. That's our website. We're at Loresworn Order on Twitter. I'm at AsaTJ. DM is at DM Schmeier.
I am indeed.
And
That was fun. So that's
man, that was tense. Like that was so tense
for a while there. I didn't know how it was going to
I
go.
know,
I was actually starting to
'cause
get nervous.
People were saying like France is really strong in this mod. Usually, if France takes France takes Mulehausen, that means that they're gonna win. And I was like, okay.
Here's the thing. Two things. It was going bad.
Yeah.
It was. Two things happened in my. Well, actually, I'm gonna say two things and a slightly lesser thing.
Yeah.
Still important, but here's what happened. These three things, two being important, one being lesser important, but still significant, happened that changed everything. First, we were able to request forces.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our allies had a lot of aimless divisions. That stopped the bleeding. What was happening to us on the front is we were catching up with France in casualties, and they were bleeding us.
Yeah.
Like for a few months there, that's actually what was happening.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was us getting bled. Intelligently deploying the Baltic states' armies, intelligently deploying Belgium's divisions, that changed that a lot. That was a massive influx of manpower right when we needed it most.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Italy and Ukraine, without us requesting their forces, got involved. I think that was actually a big deal. Ukraine's amphibious landing, I think, created a little bit of panic in the French rear like we were trying to do. That took the pressure off of our front, and our front was under a lot of pressure, by the way, so any easing of that was a big deal. And the Italians ate their Wheaties, dude, because when they attacked into southern France, it was balls to the wall aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
They were moving almost faster than their lines of supply could allow. They cut into France as fast as they could, which drew still more of the ever-triumphant French divisions away from our front. And then, as that was happening, we appointed Leto Vorbeck. 15% plus attack, you see in the video. Go back and watch. The tide of battles along our front literally turned to favor us the moment he was hired.
And then we hired Ernst Busch, same thing happened.
Yep.
So what I think this is, if we want to talk RP-wise, the German Empire in this timeline, they're not the Panzer, Blitzkrieg Germany of the 1940s in the real world. These are victorious Weltkrieg Germans who saw how well stormtrooper tactics worked at the end of the First World War,
and finally
they went all in on that shit.
Well, they were real. I think they tried to fight a conventional war for a year and had to sit around and eventually be like, we've been fighting a conventional war for a year. It's not going well. It's 50-50. If anything, it's 51-49 them. I think at the point we were at our low point, and France and Britain were at their high point, I would say, it was 51 them. When Britain did its naval invasion and France hit us hard along that, that southern flank, we were in trouble.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of trouble, but we were in a little bit of trouble. So I think finally what happened is you have these guys like Leto Vorbeck who are like, this is what worked in the First Weltkrieg. Let us implement it. And we were like, okay, and guess what? They were dead on.
That day we hired him, everyone went over the top, and it was over.
Basically. Well, you saw, there were offensives that were in the yellow or the red that almost all of them turned to green the day he was hired. Almost all of them.
We've got our MG45s pointed straight at him. We're doing move and fire. We're advancing over ground, suppressing their forces, and they couldn't hold back.
They couldn't cope. Well, especially because their breadbasket and part of their industrial heartland was getting overrun by Italians, man.
By the way, of no help whatsoever, Napoleon the Fourth. Never really even showed up. Our opinion of him is minus 300 currently. It says it's because they have claimed our territory. I'm going to say it's because he was of no help.
Well, and he declared war and then literally did nothing, either with his navy or with his army.
It's funny that he doesn't really care about us right now.
And we hate him.
But we hate him because we are currently holding on to territory that he claims is his. It seems like that would be the other way around. But.
Now, honorable mention is helpful, though. The Dominion of Canada.
Yeah.
Their navy actually played a decent role in this.
Yeah.
They were very helpful.
I mean, we wouldn't have been able to hold the channel without their navy getting... And also, the glorious... I will have to look up your name.
The Battle of the English Channel.
Whoever it was that told us, try to probe the channel now that they're tied up fighting Canada, that was pretty
golden
decisive.
Advice.
That was fantastic.
If you remember, there was a battle called the Battle of the English Channel. It's in a previous video. I think it was also our last recording session.
Yeah.
Where we had forces from the Canadian Navy reinforce our fleet. Remember that big naval battle against a ton of British ships, and we wrecked their navy. I actually think that was a solid chunk of the Royal Navy we sunk that day, or the Syndicalist Navy, the Red Navy that we sunk that day, which was that's it. You know what I mean? Like once we have punished and sunk the majority of the British ships, Britain as a nation is substantially less effective in this game. They kind of live and die by their naval power, which, to be fair, real life the UK more or less did that.
Yeah,
the RAF and the Royal Navy were by far their strengths in this conflict. And very early in the war, with Canada's help, we took that from them. We sank their ship. We sank something like 5 carriers in that battle.
Yeah.
They can't recover, dude. They can't. They won't.
Yeah.
And we're going to take them next episode. We're probably going to have to get to February, March 1943. I think our army needs to breathe a little bit. They're probably absolutely exhausted.
Yeah. Well, we want to make up some of these deficits. We want at least all of these numbers to be
green.
Maybe not all of them, but at least the ones.
I don't think the infantry equipment's
like
going to happen.
Tactical bombers. I don't really care. Carrier fighters. We don't really need those in the green, but we definitely need anti-tank infantry. We need motorized support and tanks to be in the green.
Yep. So that's coming. We'll probably actually, in the off time, we'll look at our factories and maybe we can reprioritize a little bit.
Yeah.
Get some more infantry equipment getting made.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got a shitload of factories dedicated to infantry equipment right now.
It still says we're going into a worse deficit by 600 guns a day, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's gonna shrink though. It'll shrink once divisions actually fill up their supply needs. Then the demand will go down and it'll even out. But yeah, thanks for joining us. This has been a very long post-episode discussion.
Probably the single most significant event to happen in this stream.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited. I'm excited. That was tense. I really didn't know if we would win. Here's the thing. Well, before we go off on another tangent, I'll just make this brief. I thought that we were probably going to be put on the back foot. We weren't going to lose the war, but they were going to push us back maybe to Frankfurt, maybe to Essen, and we would have to make a comeback later.
With the nuke.
Right.
We actually talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about if they push us back to the Rhine, we're going to start building nukes. So, yeah, that will do it for this episode. Subscribe. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be subscribed if you've watched this far, because, man, this is a fun campaign we're having here.
This is entertaining,
and
what we want to do is we'll start planning for it immediately, and we want to start getting your thoughts. What do you want us to do next?
Yeah.
There are two options, although we will hear a third. If one of you contributes an idea we hadn't thought of that we're like, oh my god, that's amazing, we'll add it to the poll. But here are the two options. After this is done, because I think we're only 10 or so episodes away from the conclusion of this sucker.
Yeah.
So, do you want to see us play another round of Kaiserreich as another nation?
Yeah.
And if so,
which the 0.3 patch is out now, so it would be a more updated version than what we're playing right now.
If so, which nation? That's an option. The other option, is there another mod to Hearts of Iron that you desperately want to see us play? We're thinking the Great War mod.
The Great War. Yeah, I think that would be my vote, if you want to hear my vote.
Well, that's my vote, too.
Yeah.
So already it's 2-0 in favor of the Great War, but I really do think we should leave it up to them. So if you want more Kaiserreich and you chime in the comments and say so, we will play another round of Kaiserreich, and we will play as the nation you want us to. We would prefer, however, the Great War mod. I would prefer to play something we haven't played in a while. Like, I want to play Germany or France in the Great War mod. I want to try someone else.
Yeah, maybe like the Ottomans or something.
Yeah, the Ottomans, the Austrians, something unconventional. I think would be fun.
See if we can turn around the Austrian military from the absolute disaster that it was historically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. That's what's coming.
Yeah.
So like and subscribe always. And in the comments, give us your feedback and give us what you want to see next, because we're going to start to plan for it soon. I don't know that this series will get to May. I think we're almost done with it.
Yeah. And until next time, for the Kaiser.